Hey y'all, it's Crystal here from ChristaCoDesign. Today we are making the textured and striped Gemma shawl. You'll need 1,116 yards of Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton yarn, a number 4 medium worsted weight yarn, in 4 shades: shade Jade, 2 skeins, Dragonfly, 2 skeins, Taupe 1, and Rose 1. We're using a 5mm crochet hook, and the colors are: color A will be Jade, color B Taupe, color C Dragonfly, and color D Rose. In color A, start with a magic circle. In the magic circle, we're going to place 3 double crochets. Then chain 2. This will be our center tip where we increase. And then place 3 more double crochets. Then we'll pull our tail to close the magic circle. We'll have 8 stitches, and we're going to turn our work and begin row 2. Row 2 is the wrong side of our work. We'll chain 1, which doesn't count, and then place 2 single crochet in that same stitch, the very first stitch. You will increase in this first stitch for every row. Then single crochet in the next stitch, and in the following stitch until you get to your center chain 2 space here, our tip. In this space, we're going to place a single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet back into that same chain 2 space. And this chain 2 here is where we'll continue to increase in the same way. Now up the other side, we are going to place 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And as we come to this last stitch of the row, we're placing 2 single crochets back in that same stitch to increase here on the last stitch as well. So each row we will increase on the first stitch, in the center, and the last stitch. Each row increases by 4 stitches, so now we have 12. Row 3 is our right side. We'll start with a chain 3. Here I'm using an alternative. This chain 3 or alternative counts as your first double crochet. So go back into the same stitch and make a second double crochet. Now we're going to double crochet in each stitch until we get to the center again. In the center chain 2, we're placing a double crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet back into that chain 2 space. And now along the other side, we'll place 1 double crochet per stitch until we reach the last stitch of the row. In the last stitch, we'll place 2 double crochets, and we have increased by 4, so we have 16 stitches total for row 3. I'm going to take a moment to mark the front of my work. the right side with a stitch marker. So my odd rows, 3, 5, 7, all of those will be showing your right side. For row 4, we'll chain 1, which doesn't count. Place 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And now we're going to work a front loop only, single crochet in the next stitch. And we'll work that in each stitch to the center chain 2 space. Now in the center chain 2, we're going to place a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet back into the chain 2 space. And along the other side, we're going to continue working front loop only single crochets until we get to the last stitch. In the last stitch, we'll place 2 single crochets. So on these front loop only rows, or even some we're going to do that are back loop only, for increases in the first last stitch and center, just using regular ones. We won't go into the single loop. Okay, row 4 increases by 4 stitches, so now we have 20. Okay, for row 5, we'll start with the chain 1, which doesn't count. And then in this first stitch, we're going to place a half double crochet and a second half double crochet, both in that same stitch to increase. Now we're going to back loop half double crochet in each stitch until we get to the center chain 2 space. Okay, as we approach the center here, we're going to place a half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet all in that same chain 2 space. And then we'll continue to work 1 back loop half double crochet in each stitch to the end. On this last stitch, we're going to place 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. We'll end with 24 stitches. On row 6, we're going to chain 1, which doesn't count. Then in that same spot, we're going to place 2 half double crochets, both in the same stitch. Then we're going to half double crochet in each stitch to the center. In the center, we're going to place a half double crochet, chain 2, and a half double crochet back into the same chain 2 space. Then we'll continue to half double crochet in each stitch till we have 1 stitch left. And in that last stitch, we're going to place 2 half double crochet stitches. We'll increase by 4 stitches, so we'll have 28 stitches. For rows 7 and 8, we'll repeat row 6. At the end of row 8, we will have 36 stitches. For row 9, we'll start with a chain 3 or alternative, This counts as your first double crochet. Then double crochet back into the same stitch. Then back loop only double crochet in each stitch to the center. In the center, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, all in the center chain 2 space. Then continue with the back loop only double crochet in each stitch till you have 1 stitch left. And place 2 double crochets in that last stitch. We'll end row 9 with 40 stitches. Here we're going to change to color B. So I'll cut my first yarn. I'm going to back out of my last yarn over from my last stitch, then yarn over in the new color and pull that through to complete the stitch. For row 10, we're going to repeat row 2, which is our regular single crochet row. As this is our first color change, I'll just show you quickly that I will work over the tails of yarn, and then when I'm all finished, I'll go back and weave these in as well. For row 11, we'll repeat row 3, which is a double crochet row. At the end of row 11, we'll have 48 stitches, and it's time to change to color A. In color A, we are going to work rows 12, 13, 14, and 15. For row 12, we'll repeat row 4, which is a front loop only single crochet row. Then for row 13, we'll repeat row 5, which is a back loop only half double crochet row. For row 14, we'll repeat row 6, which is a half double crochet row. And for row 15, we'll repeat row 5, which is a back loop only half double crochet row. We'll have 64 stitches at the end of these 4 rows. And then it will be time to change to color C. In color C, we'll work rows 16, which is a repeat of row 6, a half double crochet row, row 17, a repeat of row 9, which is a back loop only double crochet row, and row 18, which is a repeat of row 2, a single crochet row. At the end of these 3 rows, we'll have 76 stitches. Now we'll change to color A. In color A, we're going to work row 19, which is a repeat of row 3, a double crochet row. We'll have 80 stitches at the end of row 19. Now we'll change to color D. We'll work rows 20 through 24. Row 20 is a repeat of row 2, single crochet. Row 21, repeat row 9, back loop only double crochets. Row 22, repeat row 4, front loop only single crochets. Row 23, repeat row 5, back loop only half double crochets. And row 24, repeat row 6, half double crochets. You'll end with 100 stitches. Then it's time to change to color B. Now we are set to repeat rows 11 through 24 one more time, following the same pattern using the same color changes. After that repeat, we're going to repeat rows 11 through 24 again, but we're going to change the color slightly differently. We'll change to color B and then repeat row 11, then change to color C and repeat rows 12 through 15, then change to color A and repeat rows 16 to 18, then change to color D, repeat row 19, and finally change to color C and repeat rows 20 through 24. We're going to repeat rows 11 through 24 again using the second set of color changes. If you wish to continue your shawl further, you can continue following the repeats of row 11 through 24.